Oh, there it goes. What is going on? We are live, I believe, on YouTube now. So we're doing this a little bit different, guys. We're doing it actually from the Zoom. What is going on? We are live. I don't know.
That delay was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like showing me what I'm doing and everything. So I hope I'm doing this right. I'm hoping we'll get through it. So. But what's up, guys? Welcome to the Sunday Stock Study. If you are joining us, everyone that will join us, let's go ahead and just jump right in. Today we're gonna. I realized that we didn't really like introduce ourselves, so we just kind of started this whole stock study thing for people, and we really didn't introduce ourselves and say what we're kind of about and our experience and in the market and just otherwise and. Kind of our personality as well. So I figured we'd start there today and talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get into some tickers for the week, and we'll go over the tickers from last week as well, and we'll get to it. So, all right, guys. See, like this thing is named like fucking stupid, bro. I don't know. Oh well. Welcome, guys. So by now you guys probably know my name. My name is Cruz. I am the founder of New Age Wall Street. I've been trading now for 4 years or so, and yeah. And so I kind of just to give my background as far as how I got into trading. I work for a cell phone carrier, and the way that they managed the business was that they wanted us to treat the business like we were a business, like we owned it. So what they did is they gave us stocks as part of it, and we would get them on a quarterly basis. So we had RSUs that we had on a quarterly basis that we could cash in on and use. So with that being said. I'm actually going to share this new code here on Twitter and in the room real quick because I think it's a different one rather than the one that I usually use for YouTube. So give me a second.
Okay. I was digging it.
So I'll just kind of talk while I'm going through this here. So.
All right, guys. So actually, this is real interesting that we're doing the whole intro phase after we've started. But what's funny about this whole intro thing is I spent, I want to say Friday, a good chunk of Friday in the hospital for pneumonia. I'm great. I'm doing good. Everything's great. But just having that time to kind of sit away from the market on a Friday and just reminisce and think about all the different things that worked to get me to where I am right now, and it's really crazy because you never think about everything as a whole culmination of things. You think about it as like what's going on right now, and so just having that moment, that time to myself to really just put things in perspective is really great. And then it's like as soon as that happens, Cruz was like, the plan all along was to come out here and talk about our start. So this is really super dope for me. You want me to go, or should you just, since you had started about your RSUs and all that?
Yeah, so I got some invites sent out now so people could actually tune in and watch. So yeah, so we got RSUs, which are restricted stock units, which you're only able to exercise and cash out at certain points, and it was incentive for you to stay an employee with the company as well. So the site got measured on attrition, so that's how they covered attrition, was by giving you the incentive to stay in there because you get more stocks and more money. So
wow.
so I got that, and I was like, man, I hear a lot of people, make money in the stock market. Like, I should, look into this. And I opened up just like a little Robinhood account, and I so I cashed out my T-Mobile stock, and I had, a couple $1,000s, whatever, and I just spread it into some other like big caps. So I don't even remember what they are at this time. I know one of them was like GE, and one of them was like I'm pretty sure one was Disney. I don't excuse me, I don't remember all of them, but that's what I did with it. And so after about 2 quarters of doing that, I went and looked at my stuff, and I was like, man, this is and there wasn't no Trump market back then, guys. Like, this is still when Obama was in office and what have you. So it wasn't like we're making crazy highs every day and everything. So I looked at my portfolio, and I wasn't making much money. I made like maybe like I'm not kidding, like maybe 2 figures, like tens and like I don't know, $50 maybe, if even that. And I was like, this is stupid. I'm not, it takes too long. And so I started, searching on ways to make money quicker with it, and I found actually intraday trading, and there was a certain warrior trading type, that I started following. So and obviously I fell victim to that. So I got a membership, joined the chat room, and that's all that. Joined the chat room, and obviously I lost that money quick. As a matter of fact, if you guys look on my Thinkorswim when we do the the screen shares, that the reason why there's parentheses there, that means negative, and that was my first account, and I keep it like that to remind me. And so it's
a great story. That's great. That's great. That's phenomenal.
So negative $246.51 actually right now. So I keep it there. That was the first account that I blew up. It was on a regular Thinkorswim account or whatever. And afterwards, and I blew that up, and then I started looking for more help, and then I found Twitter. I found some good people to follow on Twitter. I bought the Foos. So back then it wasn't even iconic yet. It was Foos 4 still, and I bought their stuff, and I don't know. I'm probably gonna get freaking flamed for this, but I freaking bought it on a bootleg from eBay, bro. Like, I didn't pay no $3,000 for it. I paid like $50. I paid like $50 to someone on eBay for it, and I went through all that, and I started doing that and got into shorting a little bit more, and that's when I was still losing money, but not as fast. You know what I mean? Like, I was building some skills, and then I just asked everyone everyone questions, many people as I could. DMing everyone, and luckily everyone was pretty cool. They had answered back, and then after being in Iconic for a little bit, or being doing that course, I just didn't like the vibes, and I wound up leaving that one, and then I went into I joined J Trader's room. So this was back when Smash the Bid and J Trader were together, and they had separate rooms, but they were marketing together as one thing. So so I wanted someone that wasn't like I don't like the in your face really loud and cheerleader type, and that's how Jay was, and he was just really straight up about business. Let's get to it. And as soon as I learned his systems and stuff, I started being profitable. I met a guy named Fate in there, which he's one of the most successful probably traders I personally know, that I personally traded with, and he's freaking awesome. And so having someone like that was my trading buddy, it made it a lot easier to be disciplined and try to we would compete against each other to like get the lowest covers and things like that because we were shorting all the time. And so I learned that whole system, and then it worked great until it didn't work. And so it wanted I don't know how long after that um, we started having these monster squeezes, you know what I mean? Like these just, crazy squeezes where it was just absolutely nuts. And I wanted to find a way to capitalize on it for myself. And I started, looking for ways to, take advantage of the squeezes. And I realized that they would move a lot quicker, faster up than they would come down. You know what I mean? So it was a lot better to do that. And then, so I find that was what my first system where it was just a TTM, some EMAs, and a MACD, and I mean it worked. It worked as long, with the timing and context, as long as I had it, right. And they started getting a little bit angry in the J Trader room because everyone would be getting squeezed, and I'm over here with my pockets all fat, and everyone's losing money. So I would, no one wanted to listen to me to, go the other way. They're like, why would you long a trash, small cap and, things like that. And I just started keeping it to myself, and I ended up, leaving and doing my own thing, and just, we went from there. So just traded by myself for a little bit. I had a friend that, I traded with on YouTube in the mornings, or not YouTube, on Instagram Live, just, for people to hang out and stuff. And then that came and went, and then this whole thing happened with my trading account, and me losing everything and having to start over. And that's when I started New Age Wall Street. And I was really apprehensive about it at first. After talking to some good trading buddies, some other mentors, they're like, yeah, well, no one gives someone permission, or says like, you now have the ability to be able to mentor or teach. And I felt like I didn't know everything, but I knew a thing or two about a thing or two, and I could help at least new traders with basics. And I've met some pretty cool people along the way. So like Blast, who's with us tonight, and Charlie, and some other really badass people. So and that have helped me out, and we've added on to what we had already. And so New Age Wall Street is there's, if you look at most rooms, and at the time that we opened New Age Wall Street, Alberto says we love the short squeezes. Hell yeah, bro. We love it. I mean, it's elevators up and stair steps down, bro. So it's so much better. And at the time when I opened New Age Wall Street, everyone had a bias. So, there's the rooms that had a, major long bias, and there's the rooms that, had a major hard on for, shorting, and, their trash stocks, and eventually they would come back down and whatever. And so my whole deal was, why don't we make money both ways? So, why can't we long them on these squeezes and, make some money on them coming back down or whatever? And if you could double your money, like, just by being able to do both of those, then cool, like, you know what I mean? So that's the whole principle on how New Age Wall Street was founded. I wanted to be money biased instead of, one direction. I wanted to be able to capitalize on the market with, in any way that it went. And we had just gotten out of, like a year ago in December, where, we had a big sell off, and that was my most lucrative month, when the market was going down and people were panicking that were long, you know what I mean? So I wanted to be able to find ways to make money, both ways as easy as possible. And then that leads into, getting into options. And once I found options, and, just kind of, finagle my strategy, to big caps and options, you have the leverage to do so much, more exotic and better things, and you cap your loss. I don't know how many guys I see, trying to chase these tops on these small caps, trying to short, and their losses are huge. And with the options, at least if you really fuck up or you do something wrong, you only lose your initial investment that you put in it. So and then I mean, it's easier. Like it's easier to play a big cap. You don't have to worry about the manipulation as much. Of course, there is manipulation in it, but there's not just one person that's moving the ticker at whim. It's a lot harder for that. So it's a lot easier. It's a lot less stress. It's a lot slower, and you can make just as much money, if not way more. And that's the part I'm working on right now, is scaling up to be able to make more money than what I could with small caps. So you start buying huge volume of small cap stocks, you start influencing the price action on it because of the liquidity. You get stuck. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much how New Age Wall Street was founded and what the principles it was founded. I wanted just a badass place. I really didn't feel like I fit in anywhere else. And then I always felt like I asked questions, not until recently, I would say, like in other rooms where customer service or actual service is an actual something that is focused on. But at the time when I started it, I would ask a question, and no one would answer me. I would wait hours to answer, or even next day when I'm sitting here studying, at that time, you know what I mean? So the guys in my room, I tell them, this is like, it probably gets ran out old or whatever, but I tell them, they could text me anytime and I'll get to them as quick as possible. So I wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning to have one-on-one webinars with members in South Africa and Switzerland and all over the world or whatever. So it's I'm here for you to work on your schedule, and I'll try my best. Up until the point when there's too many and I can't do it, I'll keep on doing it as much as I could. So but that's
So I got to get in now.
Exactly.
Tell them to get in now.
So that's pretty much how I started trading, and the New Age Wall Street came, and pretty much it. Before that, I'm originally from California boy. I live in New Mexico now, in Albuquerque. We are city no pity. If people come for green chili and hot air balloons and then stay because their car got stolen, or I'm serious, dude. It's pretty bad. We have an all-out freaking war against our metro bus system right now. Everyone's wrecking into them because no one liked it. Like, well, not because of that, but it's just, this city is a mess, man. And it's just, it's funny. Like, I make fun of it, but I love California. Like, I would never probably move back. It's expensive. It's crowded. There's traffic and there's earthquakes.
Dang.
I'll go visit as much as I could, but I'm not gonna do anything, to stay there or anything. But yeah, so I mean, I think part of my upbringing, my parents. So my dad was, I don't know, he was an alcoholic, point blank. And now that I'm older, I don't really remember a lot about him and my mom, but I was like, I remember him being physical with him. I remember being hit a couple times from getting in between them when I was young, like, and they divorced and whatever. And my mom was never around. She was trying to provide for us. She worked like 2-3 jobs, so I was just kind of on my own. And I had a bad like
upbringing or stuff.
Not upbringing, but I just didn't like authority, man. Like I wasn't disciplined, when I was little, so no one could tell me anything, and I was always suspended from school. I was always in trouble. And the thing was, I was freaking smart. Like, I tested into AP classes and gay classes and stuff like that, and it's just I didn't do well in a classroom, and I was more worried about, how I was going to get home at the end of the school day than, doing my homework and stuff. And I think if I would have had like a better home life, I would have probably been a better student and life would have been way different because
Mm.
definitely I'm smart. So um, it just I didn't get an opportunity in school to apply it. And then so after high school, I picked up a couple charges for battery, assault, things like that. Um, Part of it was I got screwed over um, because I signed a plea deal to be let off to go to the military, and this is in 2007. So the war is like, it's hot, and so the way that they worded my order though was that if I was accepted into the military, they had to let me off probation, but they wouldn't let me off probation until I was accepted into the military. So I was
Oh
pretty
fuck.
stuck. So I had to stay on my probation, and I had to go check in like maybe 2-3 times a week, drug tests, counseling, therapy, all that stuff, and community service. And I mean, no one wants to hire you when you have all this baggage. Like like either you want to work or you want to go do all this other stuff. And it really like paints a picture of why there's so many repeat offenders, and it's so hard to get out of the system because they make it so hard for you to actually do well for yourself once you're in. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah. So I actually ended up absconding my probation. I left New Mexico. I went to California to go work. I stacked some money and I came back, and I was actually out with some friends street racing one night, and there's like 30 of us, 30 to 50 of us behind a Target taking pictures and things, and they had like 100 cops roll up on us, the whole helicopter, everything. Like they had us all on the curbs just face down, and they just like raided all of us. They acted like we were like the mafia, the cartel or something. And there's just a bunch of kids street racing, taking pictures and things. And they gave everyone, they wound up lining everyone up on the curb, and checking everyone's ID and everything. And so uh, everyone got I forget the charge. It was unlawful assembly. So everyone got
Oh.
unlawful assembly. Everyone got unlawful assembly tickets, and so oh, I put myself on the thing. So I'm sitting there on the curb, like knowing like my turn is coming up, right? And I'm trying to crinkle my freaking ID so then they couldn't run it, because I knew like I was on probation. I knew I had a warrants out for me. You know what I mean? I didn't want to, and I don't want to get taken in. I'm like fuck. And so sure enough, we went and they ran my shit and came back. I had the warrants. They took me in, and I wound up doing a little over a year during that time. That we had to go back and forth to court, and they had to re-sentence me because I didn't keep with my side of the deal with my probation. And they wanted to fucking me because they put me on house arrest, and they just had it in for me. Like I'm telling you, like when I lived in this small town, I would do wheelies on my bike, like on my motorcycle, flipping off the cops and passing them, and then just taking off. Like I just really did not care. And so like I mean, I couldn't do anything at that time. Like I was in their world. Like I had to be good, and the cops were just fucking with me, and they said that I wasn't at the address where I was supposed to be at, and I
Yeah.
was. And so they said that I violated my house arrest because I wasn't there. But when they came and knocked on the door, they checked on me first. I was there. My grandpa, confirmed it, whatever too. And then they came back like a half hour later, and they're like, well, they issued a warrant since you weren't here. And I'm like, you guys saw I was here. So I was out of jail maybe like 4 or 5 days, and then I went straight back in. So it was enough just to like get laid, eat some good food, and then go back in, dude. It freaking sucked. And they're like, "You're back already?"
Wow.
And um, and so went back, and then I finally knew I knew that they were just gonna keep fucking with me. So I told my lawyer, I was like, "Hey, just I was like, let me just take the felony. I'll keep the felony on my record and, you know, just be done with the whole case, and I'll just move on with my damn life. Like, so I kept the felony on my record and I moved on, and you know, went from there. And it's been a trip ever since. It's kind of one of my worst regrets, because I think if I would have went to trial and actually fought the case, I think I would have won. But I had a
Public
I
defender.
had yeah, I had a public defender, and he just didn't care. So if I would have actually had a paid attorney, I think I would have got off on it, and my life would have been way different as well. So, but I mean, now, right now that, you know, like I am in the position I'm in, really, I'm really thankful, I guess, grateful for it, that I went through all the stuff I did, because man, like I don't think I could deal with all the stuff I got on my plate. Like sometimes, if I didn't look back and say, man, like, you know, my success rate on bad days is 100%. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I had that, and then I mean, there's been lots of other times, like not until I had my son probably is when, you know, the whole authority thing calmed down, and I needed to start be more responsible and stuff. And
Yeah.
I would just I was out street racing, just wilding out. Like I have like so many tickets. Like my insurance rates are freaking still sky high. Like it's nuts. So but that's kind of where I came from. And then I mean, I like to fight. I had a lot of aggression just built up, so that I always went to the gym, and I like to fight. And uh, I've been shot at a couple times. Just stupid, crazy things. Like that's, I don't wish that on anyone. There's like just, I don't know. I guess it's kind of hard to talk about. It's really like what could have happened to me and stuff. And then a bullet makes a really fucking specific noise when it's really close to you. Like you could shoot it like away from you, but once it's like flying next to you, it's a totally different story, dude. It makes it like that sound is forever ingrained in you. And it's yeah, bro. Like I was, dude. I don't like. I just was way undisciplined, way disrespectful, and I wound up messing with this dude's chick, and he found out, and we started fighting. And I was actually running. I was running at a track. I was running at a track, and then here in Albuquerque, and then I was kind of up high, and then there's a street like kind of below, and then I was already done with my run, and I was sitting on the bench like overlooking like the little overhang,
Yeah.
and they rolled up in a car, and they got out of the car and started bucking at me.
Wow.
Um, so my mom didn't believe me. Like I called my mom right afterwards, like, and I left like my headphones on the table. I was too scared to go back to go get them and everything. Like I left I left my stuff on the table, and I just left. And my mom ended up coming and visiting me like a few weeks later, and she really didn't like believe me, I don't think. Like
Mm.
and so she actually got in the car. This is when I had my BMW, I think. And she got in the ar with me, and we went around in that neighborhood, and she's like, well, let's see if, you know, someone saw something or someone heard something. And sure enough, my mom found someone that was actually right there and saw the whole thing. And because like when it happened, like I was like, wait, like it just happened so quick. I was like, did I really get shot at? Like, what, you know, or was it fireworks? Or, you know, like I didn't. I guess I second guessed it.
Yeah, you don't want to believe that.
Yeah, and so like this guy, he's like, no, these guys are really shooting at you, bro. Like I went to go try to find you, but like I said, I was up on a hill, and like those houses were down below, and he said
Yeah.
that I left it by the time that he tried to go check on me or whatever. And but he told my mom that, yeah, for sure they were shooting and, you know, it was loud right there. Um, so it's a crazy life, man. I don't want to live that life no more. It's freaking stressful. I got enough stress trading. Like I got gray hairs and stuff. Like so, I just want to move forward. You know, I just kind of tired of the stress. Kind of tired of all the drama. I don't want to be associated with it anymore. There's, you know, there's people that don't have your best intentions at heart sometimes, and it's a lot easier, especially with like girls, like with relationships. bad, where like I wanted to like force things to work, and now I'm just like, yo, like, if you don't like what I have to say, then you don't have to listen to me. Like, move on. So that's pretty much it, guys. Pretty much for me growing up and getting into trading, like, it's definitely. I think everyone thinks that they have a bad upbringing because they have a visualization of what their childhood should be like, or
Yeah.
upbringing should be like. So you could get someone from the suburbs, right? You could get someone that's upper middle class, and they'll still say that they had a rough upbringing because they weren't
Yeah.
extremely wealthy. But I mean, we were in it, bro. Like that. I remember, my mom would have me like lie to my dad to get more money for like milk and stuff, and um, uh, I don't. It's just. I mean, my mom was a miracle worker as far as making sure we did have what we needed and everything. But um, I'm pretty. I got a therapy's pretty expensive now to deal with all that shit. So, but that's it. Like, like I said, now, like especially the last few weeks, I've been reflecting on it, and I'm just and then like the stuff that I go through right now, and like as long as much as I want to quit sometimes, with the room and business, like I work so hard and so many hours to these things, and like literally like I was talking to Bless I think it was a week or two ago, and I was about to check myself into the hospital because my heart was hurting, and I straight up told him, I was like, yo, if you don't hear from me in the morning, like send someone to check on me. And so I mean, I'm really grateful that I went through the struggle, like of all these like crazy ass things, like being homeless, like more than once, working my ass off, the jobs I used to have, man, working as a welding contractor, like now, like I believe like anything that comes at me, I'm like cakewalk, like I got this. It's if I could get through all that stuff, like I got this shit. So that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, in the room, just let you know, I like to keep it really laid back. I like, but it is a learning environment. I would like to keep things, very direct as far as the kid with trading. I think the guys in my room know, like, um, if they're doing something wrong, I'll call them out on it. Like, I'll use you as an example, Alberto. Alberto was up pretty good the other day, and straight up told him, "You better not be fucking trading still. Like, just close your damn system, dude." He was up 2 times his goal on the day, so I mean, like, there's no reason to keep on trading. You know what I mean? But he did the right
Yeah.
thing. He did the right thing. He closed down his live account and he used paper trading. So he did the right thing. So I'm very direct when tell you things. And there's been people that can't handle it. There's been people that come and sign up, and they wind up leaving within a week or whatever, and that's okay. I understand. I'm an acquired taste, and not everyone has good taste.
Yeah.
So, how about you, Bless?
I mean, that was intense. That was dope, and that's one of the reasons why like I gravitated towards you, because your stuff is real raw and it's very real. So the way I started was nothing that intense. I grew up in, my dad's in the military, so we moved a lot as kids, but we kind of settled out in Alabama. Um, and for whatever reason, I was one of those kids who math and we always worked, right? And so I think somewhere in 12th grade, I was out there doing linear algebra and all that kind of stuff. And so everyone kind of figured, like, oh shit, this kid is going to do some shit with math. And that was always like my path. And then I think probably 4 or 5 years ago, I was on YouTube just dicking around. And then I saw some shit about Paul Tudor Jones, the trading guy. And I was like, ain't no way this dude is making, 40, 50, 60 mil in however long a period it was. And then I started looking into it, and then I read about guys like Joel Greenblatt and all that shit, and I was like, fuck me. There's a lot of money to be made in this. And then, I settled on Ben Graham's investing methods and shit, and that worked for like 2 years. But the thing is, when you're trading, when you're investing, it's a very different mentality and mindset. And you probably make. I was so hardcore where I was making like 3 trades a year, probably, like buying, right? Because you spend all this time doing research. I remember finding Sanderson Farms at, what was it, fucking 70 $75, and going, oh yeah, this gonna be it. And just like parking entire accounts in there. Did that thing for a little bit, started having success, and then so here I am getting ready, got to go to college, graduating high school, and all that. And then I kind of just went, yeah, no, I don't want to do this. Um, but I'll never forget it, because while I was in high school, I was sitting in on some college math classes and doing all that type of fuck shit. I remember sitting in one of them, and then for whatever reason, he was talking about the economy, and then he just went, "Yeah, man, that's why you're supposed to invest. You can't day trade." I've never heard of day trading at that point, and he was talking about all the ills of day trading and forex, and for whatever reason, man, I was like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna show you that I can do it." So I hopped in there, probably had like 5, 7K, took it into forex. Boom! I shit you not, it was in like 3 weeks I had lost the whole thing. Like it was a master class. And I'm one of those people where, like, if you say I can't do something, that's the one fucking thing I'm gonna spend my entire life making sure I can do. So after that happened, I was like, oh, okay, this is something I need to find out about. And then I just started grinding towards it. Um, and then I figured out that stocks were more stable than forex or whatever. And so then I went, okay, I'm gonna do this. And the way I started, my man Charlie helped me out. And I shit you not, we started out with 50 SMAs and 5 SMAs. And so that's how we started intraday trading. And if you try that with major caps, it's a bitch to trade that way. And that was how we started, and we kind of worked it up from there. I got deep into TA and all of that, and Charlie and I, we were doing our thing, and Charlie was just Charlie had no idea what was going on where. So I just go, yeah, when that line does that to that line, just buy. And so we
I just wonder, it's not the Charlie in our room, right?
nah.
So for the guys in the room that will watch this, it's not the same Charlie.
Nah, not that Charlie. Um, so here we are. We've built up, and at this point, we probably trading 2 years. I mean, we're making some money. We got some pretty nice TA going on, and I think that was the advantage of coming from forex, because in forex you have these guys use some crazy indicators, and so being able to come from there into stocks where everybody was like, what is that, what is that, and all these forex guys had heard about all this stuff already, like black dogs and all that kind of weird stuff. And so coming in to trading, and then seeing that these indicators also worked in stocks and all that kind of stuff, it was a great experience for me. And so I just went down the TA rabbit hole, because that stuff made sense to me. It just clicked with my brain, the building of it clicked with my brain. And then, like I said, I was me and my dude, we were on the top of the world, and then it's like tragedy hits. The tape gets paused and everything. I was out. He was over at our house. Uh, House burns down. Yada yada. The situation becomes bad. He passes, and so that happened. I want to say like just tail end of last year or so. And so here I am. I'm dealing with a lot of shit now. It's just like, okay, fuck. How the fuck am I gonna process and move with this shit? And so as I was looking around, I saw, Cruz and his thing, and he was, very real and everything. And so I reached out to him. I was like, hey man, this was going on. And so just started talking and to know him, and I just it just clicked, man. We started clicking, and that's how we got to where we are right now. So nothing too hope nothing too crazy in there, but yeah. So and that's pretty much how we are where we are right now. You wanna?
Yeah, bro. So that's pretty much how we are, and it's something someone told me at one time is um you don't find the right people find you, and it's absolutely true. So not so much even like me and Bless and my mentors and people that help me out and things like that, but even the people in my room, like I can't be more grateful with the guys in the room that they're so eager to learn. They are really just really sharp in that also they're just really good guys, like genuine people, and you know luckily there's no assholes or anything. You know what I mean? So if you pay me, I'm gonna let you get your money's worth or whatever. But I mean, at the same time, I don't have to have you here. So everyone, has their stuff in here, and like I said, there's been guys that it's just not a good fit. Like so, I would rather you find someone that can mentor you better, and it's just different learning styles. Sometimes me and someone else can explain the same thing, and it's just a matter of difference in the way that we do explain it. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much our story and how we came to right now and doing the Sunday stock study.
Sundays. Yeah, that's exactly it.
So anything else you want to add about it, or plus I'm reading out
Um,
Bertho's name.
no, so I mean, for me, it was just like I caught you right in the crucial time too, right? Because after that fire stuff happened, I'm just gonna elaborate on it a little bit. After that fire happened and all that kind of stuff happened, it was just like trading became secondary, and I had to go resolve a lot of legal issues around that kind of thing. Um, and it was just not a great experience. And then now you find yourself looking, and you're starting right back from the bottom, and now you're like, okay, so where the hell do I go? And then it was just like in that moment, I swear to God, YouTube has some special in there for me, man. Because I was just fucking around again, and then I see New Age Wall Street. I'm like, all right, who the fuck is this guy? And then I open up the page, I see some stuff about homeless day trader. I'm like, oh shit, this is real intense. And I just went in, and it was just like you were there in that perfect time, in that perfect space, and it was just like a reminder too, right? Like as shit as my life was at that time, it was just a reminder that no, 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 no. It can get better. There's people out here still fighting, still, doing what they got to do, and that's always a constant reminder, for me.
And it's nuts, dude. Like, I've been going. You guys, I think I'm pretty open that I've been going to church a lot more and things like that. I mean, the channel right now is nothing, nothing really to be too proud about. You know what I mean? I'm proud that I'm adding subscribers at the, kind of the pace I am. I feel like I earn every single one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember, having like 5 and being like, this is a long road ahead of me, and so it's really crazy that how God works in mysterious ways. That I mean, for Bless, like to be able to see my video, just by YouTube recommending it or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know Bless, like he didn't know me, and he just it was recommended to him and he checked it out. So it's really crazy, like to put this in there as far as if you don't see a way, sometimes God has a plan for you, even though you don't see a way.
Yeah, man.
You just got to keep on going, because if you stop, obviously, it's not you're not gonna be able to fulfill God's plan for it. So
Yeah, it's
um,
like my grandma used to say, if you stop, you ain't making progress. And so that was just it for me. Where like sometimes it feels like you're trying everything, even like trading, right? Sometimes it's just like fuck me. It's just a brick. You don't know what in the world. You don't know what your up is, what your down is, why you're losing money. You don't. Nothing is making sense, right? And it's just now when that kind of stuff happens, I'm able to just like, all right, close. shop, sit down, and go, all right, that's okay. It's okay. I've been in worse situations. I've been in worse, problems and stuff like that in the real world. And, that's kind of helping me to deal with this stuff now. And, when you're going through it, you don't want to hear that, all this stuff is prepping you for what's yet to happen. And so that whole, like, what's going on in your life affects your trading. That's no joke, man.
I try to check it
No
all out
joke.
before, man. I had to learn really quick. Trading is trading, and when I wake up and I'm here at my desk, it's different. Like, and sometimes that it rolls over. Sometimes I don't feel like the other day, when was it, Friday? I was
Yeah.
super tired, and I shouldn't have traded, to be honest. I was tired, and the market just, I didn't really have a good feel for it, to be honest. And I started to put myself in a little bit of a bind, and luckily, Tesla, dropped, and I was able to make my money back or whatever. But while I was wrapping everything up, I realized that I didn't, I should have just not traded or whatever. But yeah, I try to check everything out the door, whenever, like, I'm trading. Like, all the other problems, they're gonna be there as soon as I'm done trading. So
Right.
I try to leave them there. But cool, guys. So we wanted to do, just so who you're listening to, who you're following and stuff on the actual YouTube. I know you guys have some of the other videos, but a little bit different when it's explained live and not in an edited video. So China news. I'm sitting here I'm actually watching the futures right now as we're talking here, Alberto. So we'll use that actually to segue into actually look at some tickers and things here. So bear with me, because I don't know how to, oh, there it is. There we go. So you guys should be able to see my screen now in YouTube land. So I'm taking a look. I had the SPY up, and this is just absolutely nuts, this trend that we've had on here. And then these other features, the futures obviously opened a little while ago, and they're up like 4 points or something like that. So nothing too crazy. So still, did you see the China news? I thought it was negative, dude. I thought, like, it came out last night.
Like, look, nothing. This economy don't make sense to me. It's like negative news propels the market and keeps it going up. So who knows? Negative news from everyone but the Fed is a propellant. So we'll see.
Yeah, so I think on everything, I'm definitely bullish bias on it, with a real big hint of what would you call it? I'm sorry, guys. I've been up since like 3 a.m.
Yeah, working that overtime, extra time.
Where, like, what's the word? With a little bit of, not apprehension, but like just cautiousness towards everything. So I'm bullish, but I mean, anything could happen, and we get some tweet. We haven't heard from the freaking Rocket Man in North Korea in a long time, so maybe he gets it. So I mean, it could happen, and so that's what we're dealing with right now. Is the SPY up huge right now, and then almost got to 322, and then futures are up right now as well from the close on Friday, and as far as tickers, I don't have too much. I didn't get to like actually look at tickers today. That's his name, bro. That's Trump's brother right there, the Rocket Man.
Yeah.
So if we look at Disney here, guys, this is probably going to be my call out of the week here. And if we just look at it like in a bigger time frame. So this looks almost like Tesla did when we called it at like 327.50. So if we look at this right here at 327.50, doesn't this look almost exactly the same?
It pretty much is. If you hit the ticker, I'd be like, oh man, that's that Tesla joint.
Yeah. So I started looking at this. I don't know what I was doing, but this looks almost exactly like Tesla thing here. So it's built to support right here at about 45, and I could see it going more up, especially going into earnings. We'll get into earnings, and they're gonna. This will be the first time that they report on Disney Plus subscriptions, things like that.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
So that'll be that I believe that'll be a good catalyst. I usually don't like to buy.
I hate buying before earnings.
Yeah, in holding during earnings, that's not a very good habit to have. But if you have a little bit of extra change where you know that that could happen, and mitigate your risk, then this would probably be a good deal here. I had those calls at 160, and they expired worthless. It got to 153, and it didn't wind up working the way I wanted. But I think this would be a good. We have the resistance right here, support here at 145, and then for it to keep going up. So that's my call out with this. We just to go over real quick the ones from the previous days. So for the previous
Home Depot.
So Home Depot was right here at 210.
Money call.
Yeah, so
money call.
210 to 221 so far. I could see this still going up, maybe even making like a handle consolidation pattern here, first half of this week or something. Keep in mind, obviously, we have Christmas this week. The volatility and the volume is probably going to be weak. As having Christmas,
Yeah,
right?
everybody's gonna be jacking off and doing that kind of thing.
So I might not even trade tomorrow. If something sets up, it sets up. But I'm not going to go into 2020 with a freaking losing week. That would fucking suck.
That's the thing. So that's basically why I'm not gonna really talk about any stocks, because this week is always usually the week where you screw yourself. So for 2020, I think I'll have a clearer view of what like stocks are gonna do after the second.
Yeah.
Because then you see money start coming in and stuff. But for this week, man, I'm taking whatever comes to me intraday, and I'm looking to close early, looking to go home, and just take a nap, because we've been wanting this bearish thing, man. We've been wanting that. Hasn't come.
It'll come, dude. Like, yeah, and I'll be ready whenever it does come.
Yeah. I think January we're gonna see it. Like, that's gonna be a bloodbath.
We'll see. Like, and then the futures right now are making this ascending triangle right here, where it might break around above 3230 on the S&P futures. So,
okay.
We might get some news in the morning. We'll see, guys. But the other trade I was looking at is and Bless is gonna talk crap here, is Peloton. I'm still being patient on this. So
I don't look, and this is where if you pay attention, where I said I'm a math guy, I'd like to see the math. He's more of a feel guy, and he can go through and he'll be like, oh yeah, you see that right there? It kind of feels like, and I'm like, come on, man, tell me what you see.
Let me explain my thesis on this trade here. So
I love that trade though.
So Peloton is a new IPO. They IPO'd in October, right? Everyone, I say everyone very loosely, is pretty. It's almost like Tesla, right? So they know it's a piece of shit. It's just, how is the company, make it?
Did you call Tesla a piece of shit on YouTube, my guy?
It is a piece of shit. Like I think it is. I think
their fans are coming. Their fans are gonna come out.
No, the thing is that I think it is, but I think Elon though is a genius, and he's gonna do what he has to do to keep his baby afloat, and he's doing a really good job at it. And that's that. So we'll see. But as far as Peloton, it IPO'd in October, and this is actually the daily chart right here. So it got hammered right here, guys. As soon as it IPO'd, it got hammered and shorted down. And just to show you some stats, I'm going to show you the FinViz right here. So the short float is 60%. So you got 60% of the float fucking short in this bitch right here.
That's a lot of float.
And then it doesn't have the actual. So it's 43 million just regular float, right? So altogether, right? So I mean, we're already at the point where this is pushing up. Like, this is already, I don't know what, where the pain threshold is, for these shorts, because I mean, it IPO'd at, and the high of that day was 28, and we're at, 29 to, to 36. But we're still building this good support here at around 29 to 30. I like these bottom wicks that we have where it keeps getting bought up right here. And I could see it actually, keep moving sideways, get bought up, and then just start squeezing these shorts. Freaking crazy, like a BYND scenario.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Things like that. So I'm
Oh,
waiting.
even Spotify a little bit.
Yep. So,
IPO that day was terrible, but yeah.
So that's my whole thesis on the trade. On top of that, the whole reason so the reason a lot of shorts are in it is because they have a big lawsuit on their licensing of music for their programs, and so I'm hoping that they don't close out on those things, because obviously it'll be bad for them. But if we could keep the court case open, all these shorts are going to be pretty adamant about staying in until we get that news. Until then, we could squeeze them out until we get that news about the litigation. So I think that's a really good thesis. If I'm not, then that's cool. I do the show for free, so. Other than that, what's the other tickers that we were looking at that we called out?
We from last week.
Just Tesla. So Tesla, obviously, like, man, that was like almost 50 to 100 points since where we called it out at 327.50, and now it's at 405. So.
And I think I told people to beware of LMPX, but because that.
So those are my big cap option looking trades. Disney, Tesla.
That Disney thing works. I'm gonna be.
Netflix has been looking really good too. From 298 to 338 now, and I think we get to 350 on it, guys. It's not going to be pretty, but I think it does get to 350. So at least until, I think what they're doing is they're pumping up the actual price of the stock until they release earnings, and then it'll drop down from earnings.
Wow. Well, guys, see you next time. Are we going to do this again next week?
Oh, you don't have no other tickers you don't want to talk about? Are you there?
Ooh. What'd you say?
You don't have no other tickers you want to talk about?
Have no other tickers. I'm actually like this is a terrible week to make predictions for, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I didn't have time to prepare much. I had a long day, weekend, whatever, and it's Christmas. If you guys are worried more about the market than spending time with your family, that's probably why you're not profitable. I'm serious. Like, if you're not taking care of your home life, then that's probably it.
Yep.
But that's it, guys. Pretty cool talk today. And if you guys want to, we'll see you Sunday for the live trading. If you guys want to join us on Friday, and then make sure you like and subscribe to our video. Definitely appreciate it. Like all the new people, I can't see the thing I hate about YouTube is I can't see the new subscribers. It pisses me off. I wish I could go and say welcome to everyone, but it doesn't allow me to see the new subscribers. So welcome to if you are relatively new. If you want to see a certain piece of content, let me know, and I'll make a video on it right away. So,
for sure.
But later, guys.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Later.